Number 1, using a pen and a ruler, carefully score the vertical and diagonal lines. Vertical, diagonal. Now, make sure you have your pen in your dominant hand, your ruler in your non-dominant hand. Line up your ruler with that vertical line, making sure the metal is on the side near your pen. Line it up. Look at how my placement of my fingers is. I like to stand when I do this. It makes it a little bit easier. Make sure you have a little pressure. Check. Make sure it's lined up before you draw. You're just scoring. So you're just taking a pen and drawing over the top of the line. You only want to do it a couple times. If you do it too much, it's going to just go right through the paper. This is going to make it, when you fold it, it's going to be super easy to fold. If you don't do this, it's going to be really, really, really hard to fold. Or if you miss one, it's going to be super hard to fold. So I'm going to fast forward to do the diagonal ones. Just make sure you turn your paper to make it more comfortable for you. Don't try to rearrange your body and your arms. Now, this takes a little bit of practice. That's why we're using a black pen, so it darkens all of your lines. Now, the next thing is carefully cut around the perimeter. The next step is to cut around the perimeter. I'm going to use a yellow marker just to show you the perimeter of this shape. Make sure you leave those flaps on. This is what your shape should look like. You have the hills here. These are the valleys, and then the flaps. So it says, carefully fold each line forward and backwards. Don't miss any or it will not work. I like to fold them all this way first so I can see the line. And go do each one this way, and I'm gonna go each one back the other way. You should be able to stand up like that if you did them all. And I'm gonna go backwards. Doing that same thing, only folding them backwards. Same thing, can stand up. I'm going to lay it down and do the same thing for the diagonal ones. Carefully fold it over all the way for each one. And then you're going to go and do the backwards way. When you're doing this, if you're struggling a little bit, you can just fold them back and forth a little bit more. You're just making these creases flexible. So when you go to do your folding, it is all good to go. This is what it should look like. Now you need to attach the hills to the valleys. So I'm going to flip it upside down and start gently making it line up like this and getting it to match up. Now you have to kind of work with it a little bit and make sure the folds are all going the right way. And I'm going to take the first hill and tuck it in the valley. Take my first piece of tape, tuck it in the valley, try to line up so it makes a nice triangle, and give it a little piece of tape. Then move on to the next one. Line it up before I tape it. Now you're going to tuck this little flap right inside the end. Give it a little piece of tape. And then put a piece of tape on the back. And check and make sure you don't have any pieces, and then you can start spinning it. Once you start spinning it, if you notice any openings,